What's something about storytelling you wish that you had learned earlier in your career, or you wish you'd stuck to your guns on? Maybe people tried to talk you out of it.
I guess I wish I knew how much more important character development was to writing. I don't think I developed the characters enough when I started writing. And I think that's where if I had known to take more time to develop the characters, I think I would have had less of a challenge in either the writing or the rewriting, especially the rewriting. Because I think when you've got a draft, you're going through it, you're looking for the problems, you see the problems, and sometimes the solution is in the bio of the character. It's something that you haven't put on the page, but it's something about them, and so the answer's already there because you did your homework before you started writing the script. So that's one thing I wish I knew. And in terms of sticking to my guns, I probably have stuck to my guns to a fault. One thing I'm really bad at is tolerating fools. And there are a lot of fools in the entertainment industry, in every industry, but I think more in the entertainment industry, special breed of fool.
In what way?
I guess because there's very little, much like people call themselves experts, and the only thing that makes them an expert is that they put the word expert in their bio. And there's no, it's not like you get a doctorate or something. You say, like, I'm a social media expert. Really? So you must spend all of your time learning about the new social media thing to do, and that's all you're doing. I'm going off on a tangent.
It's a good tangent.
Yeah.
But you said sticking to your guns to your detriment. You don't think that that's a good thing?
Sometimes, when you're the writer, you're the employee. And sometimes I have, not often, not that many gigs to begin with, but a couple of times I was writing something that was stupid. And I knew it was stupid, but the people who were producing the project, who brought me on, had success previously, and they were convinced this was going to be their next one, and I was the guy to do it, and it was a horrible idea that I explained to them why it was a problem. And the main character wasn't likable in a way that would never make the audience care about the character. And so I had to cook up like this whole other thing and then explain to them, like, we need to root for the character. And if the character is, I remember Whoopi Goldberg told the story of writing a screenplay about a hardcore right-wing Republican senator who finds out that he has black blood in his lineage, and all of his politics would make that bad. And I can't remember who she went to for advice, and the person gave them the advice, yeah, just throw it out. And they were like, this is a great idea, we have a lot of interest, and people are, yeah, who cares? Who cares what happens to this Republican guy? He's a bad person who discovers that he's an even worse person. Like, why are we going? And these two producers, their argument was, well, Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, he's very unlikable. I'm like, yeah, your main character's female. So name me one mainstream comedy that has an unlikable female lead in the history of film. And nobody could come up with one. Because it doesn't work. There has to be a reason. And Bill Murray is Bill Murray. So you already have, that character. If that was an unknown, and being unknown with all unknown cast, that movie would be a harder read because he makes that character fun and likable, and another actor might not be able to do that as well. Yeah, it was a horror. And the thing is, it was a horrible idea, and to the best of my knowledge, it's never been made. Not surprising.
So you're saying that working on characters, fleshing them out, backstory, was something you wish you had learned earlier? Because you said before that you would go on this legal pad.
Yeah,
so that must have been.
Well, that was something I learned. Yeah, when the first screenplay I wrote was based on a real life situation that I cooked the story around. It wasn't comedy, and it wasn't. It was based on a hit and run that I was stopped from photographing by the police, and it was a cover up. And so that the character, it was all plot. It was very little character, and it was just a House of Cards plot too, because that's what, when you build up this sort of mystery and you have this House of Cards, and you like, oh, I need to change that one thing because that's not going to work, and then you realize that is connected to all these other things. And I'm like, oh, if I change this, then I have to rewrite everything. That is a nightmare. If I had the characters already cooked more, then it would be, I think, easier to go into the character bio and the character mind and look at the plot from that point of view, rather than being sort of like, God, here's the plot, here, do something. Come on, character, do something. Doesn't work. So it was something I learned, and that's where the legal pad came from, because then it was like, I can scribble, I can write whatever I want, none of this matters, no one's ever even going to see this. And that's the other thing to keep in mind, is when you're writing, no one's going to see it until you show it to them. Enjoy that.
But we want to show it to them.
Oh, you want to show it to them, but enjoy it when you have it, because when it goes out for notes, it's something else, and then it goes out for more notes, and it gets torn apart, and it's only yours when you're writing it. And then you give it, and then it comes back, and you write it and glue it back together, and how's this? Do it again until everyone's happy, most likely except you. At least that's been my experience.